Tay Bao, who will
wow.
present his new work on PAP, XAMPP, MySQL, HTML, and so on. Tay, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Adrian. So, yes, this is some system very similar to what typically given by Joep Sonnemans at Amsterdam to get people the basic knowledge about how to use PHP. So, as I said in the email, or Marco also already showed you, it will be more like a mini lecture plus tutorial plus a computer practical session. So before I start, since it's something like
I did not prepare anything.
right, you already know what I want to ask. You already know what I want to ask.
So I have to leave now.
No.
But I'm just interested in this new software. So maybe you can tell something about it. What is the advantage compared to Z3, for example?
Right.
Can it do more? Or?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's pretty hard for me to compare it to Z3 because I know too little about Z3 to say anything about Z3. So what I only know is that when I started my PHP, Z3 was very, very restricted. So there are many things I cannot do with Z3. That's exactly the reason why I do PHP. But later, what I know is the missing feature from my experience is now available with Z3. So then I don't know how to compare them. Okay. So yes.
But is this free available? This is
it's very, very freely available. Yes.
Okay.
You even do not need to cite anyone.
Okay.
Maybe in the future you need to cite Joep, but at least for the moment, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Advanced is much more flexible, right? You can just make web pages to be part of the experiment.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Z3 you cannot do anything graphical, right?
Graphical you can. Nowadays, I think it's called Z3 5, the version 5. You can do the plotting. So exactly because they cannot do any dynamic plotting with Z3 4, that's the reason I started my PhD project with PHP, because I can do that very easily. And actually, I think I'm a kind of an expert in dynamic plotting in PHP because I found this very nice library which called JP Graph, so which gives me the updating pictures very nicely. So right. Let me try to start. So today, I think, as you can see, just first 3 steps. There is not too much, not too demanding, but it may take quite a while. It may take quite a while for you to just set up the CASAMP, right? The CASAMP is rather difficult to set up. Okay, so. This is where you can download it. You can download it either by exe file to install everything on your computer, or I think there's also something like a green version which you can just unfold the zip file and get the file. I think they work in the same way, but actually what we did before is I simply just copied some folder from Joep. So actually at the beginning I also tried to do the same for Adrian, but I think the folder becomes too large, right, or something. But then, anyhow, so...
I had these port problems, but now I solved them.
I see, okay.
I don't acknowledge.
I can come to that in a moment. So, yes, let me plug in my USB stick. So after download, suppose now you're already at the stage, you downloaded it and you already installed that successfully. So what we always do is, I think maybe Marco didn't have it, but actually Adrian and Anouk received that kind of common steps for PHP. I wrote a short Word document I sent to you before. So in order to start it, we always go to this one, this called the PHP control panel. You only need to start first 2 services.
Okay.
You only need to start first 2 services. The other 2 so far are not very useful. So this one is to set up the server. And MySQL is to set up the data exchange between the web pages, namely the client side and the server side. I think this is the different reasons. So Apache Kusum package has a nice feature that they just combine everything together, so you can run them at the same time. And indeed, it may be possible for you to get this busy warning or port 80 or 8080 is occupied warning. So since it's a computer server, it's always complained by your own PC. Because for a server, there's always all kinds of security restrictions and security problems. So I don't know the answer for all of them. I can only talk about something that I know for sure. So first thing is, what happens if the port 80 is taken? I think you can check a little bit because there are quite a few other softwares that likes to occupy the 80 port. For example, the downloading softwares or web video or this kind of things for you to watch internet TV. This kind of software, they really like to occupy this port. One possible try is to kill those software, at least kill their process in the computer. Maybe you can free them. And some of other times, your access to these ports are blocked by your own firewall. So in that case, you can try to do the security setting on your firewall and add XAMPP as exception. So this is the typical. So the answers that I know, but there are millions of things I don't know. Yes,
I changed the configuration and I use another port.
Yeah. That's also possible. I remember there is a file in I think htdocs panel. You can change that too, but I need to recall and search for that for myself. Yes, there is something like a notepad file where if you open it, you can change the port. Yes.
I restarted my computer and
That was solved.
solved as well.
Okay.
Now, if you run
So
into these problems, I have a link.
Okay.
Gives you step by step how to do it.
So anyhow, it's normal that you meet all kinds of problems when you set it up and when you when you use it for the first time. But don't panic; it's just normal. And yeah, okay. So this is the thing, and also something you will be use later. You probably useful for you later, which is. Can I stop it? I think I can. Yes. Okay. Let me stop it for a moment. So when you have this folder on your computer and somehow you need to migrate this folder to another computer, many of the times you also get a problem of something like a directory mismatch. So if you migrate the whole folder to another computer, I think you almost always get this thing. In that case, do click the setup lower bar PHP button. Yes, I think here, if you like, you can take a note. Yes, here it says, sorry, but nothing to do. So I think maybe it's because of this, the configuration of this computer is good enough. Or, yeah, I'm always running it, so there's no mismatch of directory. But if that happens, for example, if you copy your XAMPP from your USB to your own PC, and you find some warning about mismatch, click setup lower bar PHP, and I think it's very user-friendly step. Then they just ask you, do you want to refresh XAMPP? I think it's a key, you say number key 1, and then they refresh for you, and then you can use it.
When you say set up PHP, you mean set up XAMPP?
Sorry, set up lower bar XAMPP.
So you can actually install it and run it from a USB stick.
Yes, you can run it directly from USB stick. So these kind of service and things, I think they don't ask for a lot of resources. So most of the time you can just run it directly from USB. But of course, when you really run an experiment, it's always better for you to run it from the C drive, because then you are faced with more users. So it's better. I think this is this part, and right. If you have any questions about how to, oh, why?
Yeah, that one link didn't work.
So if you have any, but I think this name is fine. This name is good.
Yeah, but the link is to a sub-page on the Creed page and messed up the link there.
So about the programming is so I think I can first tell you, but probably you already know. So with PHP, what you do in experiment is like you set up a kind of internet server or local net server on your own PC, and it's connected to the local net, the computers on the local network. What the subject see is a browser without upper and lower bars. Well, easiest way is if you just press F11, make it full screen. It's just a full screen browser. So what the subject see is just a full screen browser. One of the advantage is indeed that compared to Z-Tree, for Z-Tree you need to install your ZBP in all the clients, but in PHP you only need to run it from the server, and the clients can simply use their browser. And it's always preferred to use Firefox or Chrome, because we noticed that for IE, they easily get very slow after it keeps running for 40 minutes. And when that happens, it stops to refresh, and then the subjects complain why our page is stuck. Since this is the case, if you want to program the page, you need to know the basic things about how to program the web page from using HTML language. So that is kind of the mother frame of the page. Let's say how do you define the fonts, what is the title, so on and so forth, or the main fonts. Typically they are also PHP. No, they are also HTML. And for PHP, it is mainly in charge of the communication part, namely. We have a special name for that. So if you want to study how to program an experiment, particularly using this HTML or PHP, if you want to Google, you should search for